Power, fame, controversy. These three words define a man who changed America and divided it. From the Golden Towers of Manhattan to the most powerful office in the world, Donald J. Trump became a name known in every corner of the globe. He built an empire from ambition, turned his name into a brand, and then, against all odds, became the 45th President of the United States. To his followers, he's a hero, the man who stood up to the system. To his critics, he's chaos in a red tie. But one thing is certain, Donald Trump's story is not just about money and politics. It's about power, personality, and the unshakable belief that anything is possible if your name is Trump. This is the untold story of Donald Trump, the billionaire who became president. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City. He was the fourth of 5 children in the Trump family. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer who built affordable housing for middle-class Americans after World War II. His mother, Mary Ann MacLeod Trump, had immigrated from Scotland, a woman of faith, discipline, and charm. From an early age, young Donald stood out. He was bold, outspoken, and full of energy, but often rebellious. At 13, after several school issues, his parents sent him to the New York Military Academy, a strict boarding school that would teach him order and leadership. There, Trump learned discipline, structure, and competitiveness, traits that would shape his entire life. He excelled in sports, especially baseball, and began dreaming big. He once said, "Greater than, even as a kid, I wanted to build something extraordinary." After high school, Trump enrolled at Fordham University in the Bronx. But after 2 years, he transferred to one of the most prestigious business schools in America, the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. At Wharton, Trump studied finance and real estate. He learned how markets move, how cities grow, and how risk can lead to fortune. He graduated in 1968, the same year America faced social unrest and the Vietnam War. But Trump had no interest in politics yet. He had a dream: to conquer Manhattan. He said, "Greater than, I knew I didn't want to be like everyone else. I wanted to stand out. I wanted to make New York mine." After college, Trump joined his father's company, Elizabeth Trump & Son. They built middle-income apartments in Brooklyn and Queens. But Donald saw Manhattan as the real stage. He convinced his father to expand the business into the heart of New York. In 1974, he bought the Commodore Hotel near Grand Central Station, a decaying building no one wanted. He struck a deal with the City and Hyatt Hotels, renovated it, and reopened it as the Grand Hyatt in 1980. It was a massive success. Soon after, he started a new company, the Trump Organization, and launched his signature project, Trump Tower, a 58-story glass skyscraper on Fifth Avenue. It opened in 1983 with gold elevators, marble floors, and luxury beyond imagination. Trump had arrived. He wasn't just building properties, he was building an image. A brand. A legend. The 1980s were Trump's golden era. He bought casinos in Atlantic City, Trump Plaza, Trump Castle, and Trump Taj Mahal. He purchased an airline, Trump Shuttle. He owned yachts, golf courses, and hotels across America. He lived in Trump Tower's penthouse, walls covered in gold, chandeliers, and velvet. Magazines called him the billionaire playboy. He was on TV talk shows, magazine covers, and newspaper headlines. He became a symbol of 1980s wealth and power, confident, loud, unstoppable. He said, "Greater than, you have to think anyway, so why not think big?" But behind the gold, storm clouds were forming. By the early 1990s, the economy crashed. The real estate market collapsed. Trump's casinos and hotels were drowning in billions of dollars of debt. His empire was on the edge of bankruptcy. Banks demanded payment. Investors panicked. The media declared, "The Trump empire is falling." But Trump did what he always did. He fought back. He negotiated deals, sold off assets, and reinvented himself. He even used his fame to write books like The Art of the Deal, which became a bestseller. He told reporters, "Greater than, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up." By the mid-1990s, Trump had survived. He wasn't just a businessman now, he was a symbol of resilience. In the 2000s, Trump's name became a brand across the world. Hotels, golf courses, clothing lines, and even bottled water carried the Trump logo. But his biggest comeback came in 2004, when NBC launched The Apprentice. Each week, young entrepreneurs competed for a job in the Trump organization. His catchphrase, "You're fired," became part of pop culture. The show turned Trump into a TV star, a celebrity, and a household name again. People saw him as the ultimate businessman, powerful, decisive, fearless. Trump's empire grew globally, in Chicago, Las Vegas, Dubai, Turkey, and the Philippines. By 2015, he was one of the most recognized men in the world. And then, he decided to do the unthinkable. On June 16, 2015, Trump walked down the golden escalator of Trump Tower and announced, "Greater than, I am officially running for President of the United States of America." The media laughed. Politicians dismissed him, but millions of Americans listened. His message, "Make America Great Again," resonated with working-class Americans who felt ignored by the system. He promised jobs, border security, and a stronger America. Rallies across the nation grew larger. Trump's speeches were raw, unfiltered, and emotional. In November 2016, against all predictions, Donald Trump defeated Hillary Clinton. He had done the impossible. The billionaire businessman was now the 45th president of the United States. Trump entered the White House as an outsider, a man who had never held public office. He promised to drain the swamp and return power to the people. He reformed taxes, boosted the economy, renegotiated trade deals, and reshaped the Supreme Court. Unemployment hit record lows. The stock market soared, but his presidency was also one of the most polarizing in U.S. history. He faced investigations, impeachment, and constant media battles. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020, everything changed. America's economy suffered, and Trump's leadership was tested like never before. Still, millions remained loyal. To them, he was fighting a system that had turned against the people. In the 2020 election, Trump faced Joe Biden. After a heated campaign, Biden won. Trump claimed the election was stolen, sparking political chaos. The tension erupted in the January 6th Capitol riot, shocking the world. In January 2021, Trump left the White House, but not in defeat. He said, "Greater than, the best is yet to come." After leaving office, Trump launched his own social media platform, Truth Social, and began holding rallies across America again. Despite facing multiple legal battles and investigations, his influence in U.S. politics remained unmatched. He turned from ex-president into movement leader, a figure who reshaped conservatism in America. In 2024, Trump announced he was running for president again. The crowd roared. The MAGA movement was alive once more. To his followers, he represents strength, freedom, and rebellion against the political elite. To his critics, he's a warning of populism and division. But either way, he remains at the center of the American story, greater than from the boy in Queens, to the billionaire in the Golden Tower, to the president in the White House. Donald Trump's story is not over. It's a living chapter in the book of American power, written by a man who never accepted defeat. Love him or hate him, you can't ignore him, because Donald Trump is not just a person. He's a movement. This was Donald Trump, the billionaire who became president. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because next, we dive deep into the hidden empire behind the world's most powerful leaders. Until then, stay curious, stay bold, and keep watching.